Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I wanted to talk about the beauty products I'm glad I didn't buy. As I was scrolling through Instagram, I usually check out Trend Mood 1 and Makeup on Your Radar 2 as the two accounts that I kind of look at to see what's new, what's coming out. And then when I'm doing a video like this, I have to go through and go back and scroll through everything and go, oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't get that. And oh, I really wanted that, but I'm glad I didn't do. So that's what we're talking about today. The products that I'm glad that I skipped. First thing on my list is still fairly new, but the minute I saw it, I was like, ooh, I want to try it. I really, really wonder, is the new palette from Sigma Beauty. There's a really good reason why I know it's a good thing that I skipped. Is first of all, it's really big. It's really big. There's 20 pans in this palette. It's a big palette. I mean, it looks really beautiful, but it's a ton of neutrals. Do you know how many neutral palettes I have? I couldn't even tell you how many neutral palettes I have. And when I saw this, it's like, you know what? I have a neutral palette from Sigma. Let me pull that out instead. Or let me pull out one of my other really beloved neutral palettes. I decided that it's really important to stop myself before I start adding to the hoard. There is a large collection of makeup in this house, and I need to be a little bit more discriminating before I start letting things in. Now, here's something that's been around for a while, and I'm glad I skipped it when it initially launched. And every time I see a shade expansion, I'm like, do I need to try it? And the truth is, I'm kind of glad that I didn't. And these are the Lip Suede Hydrating Matte Lipsticks from Westman Atelier. And I think the reason is that first of all, they're $50 a piece. They're very expensive for a matte lipstick. They look beautiful, but there have been a couple of influencers who I've seen wearing them, and they don't do any favors for the lips. The lips look really dry. And maybe it's just the people that I've seen them on haven't exfoliated their lips or something, but I realize I already know and love a favorite matte lipstick. It's the one from Lisa Eldridge, the Velvet formula. So I would much rather reach for what I already have, and I have more than 50 Lisa Eldridge lip products. I don't need any more, especially at that $50 price point from Westman Atelier. But every time they do a shade extension, I kind of ask myself the question, do I? And the truth is, no, I don't. And I'm glad that I haven't kind of caved and tried it. Okay, here is one that I have been on the fence about, and I finally admitted to myself, you're not going to use it. It's beautiful. It's just not for you. And it's new from Danessa Myrix. It's the Mini Pastel Dream Freedom Palette. Now, it is the cutest little 6-pan palette. So first of all, perfect size. Exactly. Like, I don't need more than 6 or 8 shades. So the size is perfect. I love the Freedom style that goes along with some of her other palettes that you can swap things in and out. I like that they're magnetic. I like all of that. On top of that, there are some beautiful duochrome shades in here, and they look so lovely. And I was like, ooh. And I realized there's only 2 shades in here I would wear. Maybe 3. And if I'm only going to wear half the palette, what am I doing buying it? Could I push myself outside of my comfort zone? Probably only once or twice before I would not use it anymore, and it would just be sitting there staring at me, making me feel guilty for having purchased it. So is it lovely? Absolutely. Do I think it's perfect for somebody else? Yeah. I just know I'm not that person. All right. I admit it. I am a lover of cheek products. One might even say I have a hoarding problem. I have so many cheek products. I have liquid blushes. I have cream blushes. I have powder blushes. And when I saw the release from Kosas, the Blush is Life Baked Talc-Free Dimensional Brightening Blushes, those look so beautiful. They had a launch a while ago, and they just came out with the shade extension for this. And the shades, I mean, it's like they're calling to me. They're just like, buy me, buy me. And I'm like, no. Because how many baked blushes do I have? I have Hourglass baked blushes. I have ones from Essence. I have the one from Revie Beauty. I have so many beautiful baked blushes. I don't really need anymore, but they just look so appetizing. And I have to remind myself not to be spending money just because something looks pretty. That may not be a problem for you, but that certainly is an issue for me. When I saw this at the tail end of last year, I was waiting with bated breath for the Luminous Silk Aqua highlighters from Armani. So imagine a giant tube with a big chunky doe foot of a liquid highlight. Oh, and that's when I reminded myself, you already have something like this, and it's your favorite thing, and you don't reach for it enough. And it's the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow. I have 3 shades of the Elevated Glow. What would I need with more liquid products from Armani? They look beautiful. I have been wanting to kind of do more of a deep dive on the brand Armani just to try a few more things, but I just reminded myself that this is something I have so much highlight I am not likely to really get good use out of. And at that luxury price point, I definitely want to make sure that if I buy something, I'm getting some good use out of it. So in November, Elf came out with a new brow product. It was their Holy Strokes microfine brow pen. I love a micro brow pen. I love a brow pen. I have so many brow pens, and I really have been loving the ones that are really, really super fine tipped. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And it's at a drugstore price. I think it's like, what, $7? Yep, $7. $7. What a great price. But then I was about to pick it up and someone says, wait, don't do it. And I got a review from somebody who watches my channel occasionally. And they're like, I didn't find that it worked well for me. I found that it didn't stay in my brows and that I was able to kind of like wipe it off if I'm like wiping my forehead for whatever reason. I'm like, oh no. It saved me $7. I have been wanting to try more luxury beauty, and there was a beautiful spring release from Gerolan. It was their Sakura collection for this spring, and now beautiful limited edition packaging for the lipsticks, and it's not this one, but I have like a couple of these guys. And these are the new ones because I do have some of the older ones, but they actually changed the packaging. So my old ones, I can't get lipsticks for anymore. Anyway, they had a beautiful, and the Sakura collection had a beautiful cherry blossom on it, on the front of it. But the truth is, I need more lipsticks. Like I need another hole in my head. I was looking at that eyeshadow palette. That quad looked really lovely. But I had to remind myself that there's one shade in there, that kind of bricky terracotta shade. I don't really love wearing shades like that. The rest of it looked really pretty, but I was like, am I really willing to pay Gerolan prices and only use 3/4 of the palette? And I was like, no. Now, I'm not saying I'm never going to buy a Gerolan quad. It's just not going to be this one. I do want to try more luxury eyeshadow brands. And this one kind of pulled me in and looked interesting, but I'm glad I skipped it. How many times have I been like right on the fence of purchasing something literally in my basket? That's what happened with this. This was the new Soft Pinch Liquid Contour from Rare. No, I really like Rare. I love their new blush. Like, it's sitting on my desk, sitting right here. I don't even put it away in the drawer because I just keep reaching for it. But when I saw this liquid contour, I was like, ooh, that looks really pretty. And it made it into my cart, in and out of my cart multiple times. And I finally told myself, you have so many contour products that you already have that you really like. Is this really going to kick anything out of the running? And the truth is, it just made me reach for what I already have. And I feel like having that moment where I rediscover what's already in my very large makeup collection is actually a good thing. I'm sure it's a great product, and I'm sure if you have it, it works really well for you. But I'm glad that instead of clicking purchase when it was in my cart, that I took the time to kind of go through and see what I already had and use that instead. This is one that the minute I saw it, even before I saw all the shades, I just saw one. I was like, oh, I want so bad. It was the High Blush Cloudy Dream Cheek Duos from Danessa Myrix. And I think it was a combination. The reason that I ended up not getting it is that the ones that were on the lighter side, one of the shades was off. And since they're duos, I want to be able to use both shades. I like the fact that it's a cream product, a cream blush, and a cream highlight. They looked really pretty, but I really didn't find any of these that really would have suited my preferences for cheek colors. I would have liked one shade from this one and one shade from the other. And you, could you mix and match? Yeah, but do I want to buy two? No, I wanted to buy one and fall in love with it. And I'm kind of glad that I skipped it. But I think for me, they looked really pretty and the idea was great. But I've got all sorts of cheap products just coming out my ears already. All right, I was really on the fence. Another product that was in and out of my cart. And then finally, the one that I was really looking at went out of stock. And since it's limited edition, it never got restocked. And this was new at the beginning of the year from Charlotte Tilbury. These were the Beautifying Eye Trends palettes. So there was a lot of people talking about these and trying these. And the one that I wanted was the one that had kind of like the murky green shades, some khaki shades in there. There was a gold and then the greens. They just look so beautiful. It looks so beautiful. And I waited too long. Now, part of the reason I didn't get it is because I knew it was limited edition. And I'm trying to purchase less limited edition things because if you can't buy it now and I'm wearing it on my eyes and you want to know what it is, so sorry. And then it kind of limits when and where I can wear the makeup that I have. And I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to be able to wear what I want at any time. So limiting my collection of limited edition things is a good thing. Second of all, I had to ask myself, I know I love greens, but I've got two palettes that have a beautiful green shades in them that I just have not really been reaching for, that if I wanted to scratch that itch of green eyeshadow, I've got green eyeshadow, like a plethora of green eyeshadow. I definitely could build a bunch of singles into like a 6-pan or an 8-pan palette. Be really easy to do. I've got everything that I need to create looks that are similar to this without paying that $60 price point. So I'm really glad that I skipped it, first of all, because it was limited edition, and second of all, because I already have shades like this at home. Okay, here's another eyeshadow palette I was right on the cusp of picking up, and I had to talk myself out of it. It was really one that I kept looking at. I was looking at swatches, I was watching reviews, and it was new from Natasha Denona at the beginning of the year. This was like, I think in February, and this was the new Bloom eyeshadow palette. And it really looked beautiful. It looked like it would have been a great accompaniment to some of the other more neutral leaning palettes that I have. I have the gold eye palette or the golden eye palette. I have the glam. I have the I Need a Nude and I Need a Warm. I did look over and see what it was that I had. Those are the only 4 Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes that I have. And when I saw this, I was like, you know what? That really still sits in that kind of warm but neutral territory. I could really get some good use out of that. And I really like the Natasha Denona formula. The one thing I had to remind myself of is there's a lot of shades in here that are not my favorite. As a color story, it's beautiful. And watching other people build looks with it was really, really lovely. But there are some really toasty, warm shades in here and some that have a real peachy lean to them. And those are the shades that I don't wear that often. So I'm glad I talked myself out of it, but it is beautiful. And if it's your color story, I'm sure you're getting as much use out of it as I get out of the I Need a Nude. All right, when I saw these glossy balms from House Labs, I was like, yes, I need them. These were the Bio Radiant Glassy Highlighter Balms. They looked so stunning. There were 6 shades. I was like, I'm all about a glossy balm. And that's when I remembered I have a lot of glossy balms. I have the ones from Chanel. I have the ones from, is it Revlon? Maybelline? L'Oreal. I have the ones from L'Oreal. I have 2 from Merit. I love their Day Glow Balm. I just already have a ton of products that are like this. And were these lovely? Probably, but I will never know because I told myself you already have products just like this. Go ahead and skip this one. Okay. It's no secret that I have a weakness for lip products. And when I saw these Glaze Craze tinted polypeptide lip serums from Laneige, I was in awe. I was like, I want one. And mainly, here's the thing. First of all, I love anything that has a peptide in it, and these are a polypeptide lip serum, but it was the applicator, that little squishy donut applicator. I really wanted to know. And then okay, there's nothing that I dislike more than a messy applicator, and I started wondering, how messy these got. And that's really what stopped me from purchasing it. And I don't know, maybe they're not that messy, but all I could think of was ooey and gooey and goopy, like all up inside the cap, all around the threads where the cap screws on. I was like, ugh. And that right there, that stopped me. I was like, nope, I don't have to know. I don't care how different and innovative it is. I do not need to know about this. But I was literally this close until I really thought through the applicator process. And I was like, maybe she's not for me. Here's the last thing. I'm going to leave you with these. And I just saw that there are some new sets coming to Sephora, the Sephora favorite sets. There were some that came out this spring, and they have, I'll just put a picture up that has like all three sets. And some of them were more skincare heavy, some of them were more makeup heavy. And the truth is, I love trying things that I don't already have. And that's what these sets are really good at doing, introducing you to things that maybe you haven't tried. But because I try so much makeup, each of these sets already had something that I already had in my collection. So that's, first of all, what kind of made me go, no. And I thought, well, even if I was willing to share that one thing I already have with somebody else, like give it to a friend, the truth is, I still would be stuck with a bunch of little, tiny, small guys just sitting around. Now, sometimes I love something small. Sometimes it's like just the right size, but a lot of times these smaller size products can get lost in my collection really easily. I would much rather have a full size. Now, these sets usually come with, a couple of full size products in there, but I did not want to lose track of stuff. And so I just opted out of these. Now, I will say there is a new lip set from Sephora, and I'm trying to talk myself out of it. I don't know. I don't know that it's available yet, but probably will be soon. It has a new Merit lip liner. It's got, I think, one of the Laneige peptide lip serums in there. It's got some other stuff. And I was just like, ooh, things that I would really be interested in. It's like, no, 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 no. You're good. You're good. I'm trying to still talk myself out of it. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to pick it up or not when it's available. But, and my Achilles heel is my love for lip products. But I would love to know if you have ever talked yourself out of something. What is it that you were like, no, I really don't need it, or it really isn't going to fit the way that I do makeup? Let me know what that product was in the comment section down below. Thank you so, so much for making the time to watch today. I hope you have an incredible day, and I will see you again soon. Bye.